We're going to look at a playthrough with this crew today. We've got three characters. We've got Pavle here, we've got Bruno, and we've got Marko. Now, Pavle's a fast runner, which is of limited use. It's useful when you get a large location and you want somebody just to run around and quickly consolidate everything into one place. So that'll be your guy. But he only has a backpack of 12. Now, Bruno, a backpack of 10. He's a good cook. And what that means is he uses less resources when cooking, but that tends to be a little bit less water and a little bit less wood, which is a gain of limited value. But later in the game, if you start making meds, he can be extremely valuable because he can make more meds out of fewer resources than other players. And that can be very valuable later on. But Marko, he's the powerhouse out of this trio because he's got a backpack of 15, which is the second largest backpack in the game. So he's going to be doing all the looting because he can bring home more resources than others. So let's get to it. Now we've got this house, and there are 3 or 4 random houses, and you'll get dealt one of them, which may be this one. So let me see. I don't think it really matters. We could have Pavle running around except because he's fastest, but it doesn't make too much difference. So let's just try and get them digging anyway. So we've got Pavle digging there, which is good. We want to get him to take this pile here and then get digging, and then we can just focus on what Bruno's doing. So what we're looking for at this stage is components and wood, because we want to get a metal workshop in. So he just found 1 stack of those. Okay, now we can get Marko digging, which is what we wanted. He can pick up this other stack here. So we've got 2 digging. We can forget about them just for the time being. More wood, more components. So that means Bruno can get down to the workshop here. First stage in pretty much every single playthrough is to get a metal workshop up, which is this thing, and then to get a crowbar made. Because there are a lot of doors, locked doors in the place. Like there's one here, that's 2, 3, 4. I think there's a 5th one somewhere as well. But we're only going to find 2 lockpicks, and the only way we can get into these locked doors is with a lockpick or a crowbar. So we're going to have to make a crowbar. A crowbar also serves as a weapon for house defense. So it's pretty much every single playthrough we put the metal workshop up and make a crowbar. So Pavle's almost done here. So note that we've got 1 player slightly wounded, and we're going to have 1 slightly sick. So this icon here tells us that we have a lockpick in our inventory. We look at our things. This is all the things we've picked up so far. There's your lockpick. This tells us we can open this with the lockpick. But once he's finished with the crowbar, we're going to get another icon here, which is that one, which means he can do it with the crowbar now. Now he's going to have to wait till the crowbar is available again, because he's using it right now. But meantime, 3 players we can get by with 1 bed. So we're going to get him to make a bed. Because every night we'll have 1 player out looting. We're going to sleep, at least in the beginning of the game, we're going to sleep 1 player every night. And we'll have 1 on guard. So he can get digging there. He's now got the crowbar available. So we just found a bandage. So let's just get him on this double pile here. Now who's wounded? Pavle's slightly wounded. I'm going to get him bandaged up. Because you really got a choice here. You could either do nothing, and there's a chance that he'll stay the same, there's a chance he'll improve, and there's a chance that he'll get worse. So it's kind of a risk, because if he gets worse, it means that you need you start to get a hole that you need to dig yourself out of. Whereas if you take a bandage, he's almost guaranteed to get better. Now Bruno, sorry, who's the sick one? Marko. So we're liable to find the we're going to find a sickness med as well. We tend to find one bandage and one sickness med, but it's likely to be here. So we've got a problem there, and that he's probably not going to get to it in time. So we're going to take the risk with Marko that he doesn't get worse, because there are two types of sickness meds, and what he's going to find is the valuable one. And we want to keep hold of the valuable one if we can, and bring home one of the weaker, cheaper sickness meds tonight and give him that. And just hope that he doesn't get worse overnight. So that's what we'll do. Meantime, he can start digging there. Now, if we want to look at what we want to bring home tonight, actually, he's got a couple of piles to pick up here first, so let's do that. So other than the sickness med, there's nothing essential in these two piles. We can finish it off tomorrow. That's not going to be an issue. But if we look at what we want to do tomorrow, now we're not getting raided on day one, but we are, I think, guaranteed to get raided on night 2. So what we want to do is we want to get this upgraded, and for that we are 10 components short, and we also want to get 2 boards in. Now each board is going to cost us 10 wood and 2 components, so we're going to need a total of 20. Once we upgrade this, we're going to have 5 wood left, which leaves us 15 wood short, and they stack to 2, so we need 8 stacks of wood tonight. Now, once we upgrade this, we're going to need 10 to upgrade it first of all, but then on top of that, we're going to need 4 components to get the boards in. So we need another 14 components, and as these stack to 4, then we're going to have to bring home 4 stacks of these and 8 stacks of these. So 4 stacks components, 12 stacks of wood tonight, sorry, 8 stacks of wood tonight. And then we can do everything that we want to do. Because as mentioned, we are going to get raided on night 2. Now, past playthroughs with this crew, with 1 guard and the crowbar that acts as a weapon and only 1 window boarded up, I did get an injury. With 2 windows boarded up, I've never seen any injuries or loss. So that's why we're going for 2. Because the trouble with getting injuries is that you can start to dig a hole for yourself, because multiple injuries then starts to hit morale, and once morale starts going down, that impacts everybody else's morale, and you end up just digging a deeper hole for yourself. So I always prioritize security for that reason, just to make sure that we don't start that spiral. So it looks like we are going to find the med in time. Not there. Going to be in this one probably. Day ends at 8 PM. So we just made it. Yeah, there's your med, but that's the valuable one, and we really want to keep hold of this one for trade. Franco the Trader is going to come on day 3. And as mentioned, we're going to want to bring home one of the weaker meds tonight, and that's what we'll do. So we're coming to the end of the day, and we'll finish up this one tomorrow. Okay, so we got this map. Again, you may not see this map because there are 6 maps in the game. You get randomly dealt one of them, and this is one of the 6. So we do have 3 locations here. Firstly, semi-detached house. Now that's the Bazzino one. Trouble here is that to get to all the good stuff, you need a couple of saw blades, and we don't have any. So that one isn't really useful right now. The other 2, Shout Cottage and Decrepit Squat. Alright, so Decrepit Squat, so we're thinking ahead firstly to trade on day 3. And specifically what we can trade with Franco when he comes on day 3. Now this doesn't provide us with any meds, and meds are the most valuable tradables early game. So this isn't going to give us any. Now this is going to give us some. Trouble here is that you have to dig through a couple of piles, so we're either going to have to take our 2 lockpicks, because they're Sorry, there are 2 locked doors that we have to unlock, as well as 2 piles to dig through. So we're either going to have to take our 2 lockpicks or our crowbar. Now, as we saw, we need 8 stacks of wood, 4 stacks of components, that's 12, which leaves us 3 pockets, and we're liable to find 3 types of meds there. Which means that if we take the crowbar, we're going to have to leave it behind. And we're going to need that for a weapon when we get raided on night 2. So there's the problem there, and that we would have to take the lockpicks. Now we could go there on night 2 and pick up the meds, because then, but if we do that, again we're taking the lockpicks, because we're going to have to take, or rather, we would want to leave the crowbar behind for house defense. So either way we do it, I think we end up taking the lockpicks to this place. And the thing about the Decrepit squat as well, there is an opportunity for a morale bump there. And it's kind of a shame to waste it, because what's going to happen in this map is that we're going to get the Quiet House later on, which is a really overpowered site. But it means we have to go there, steal, and take a morale hit. So what we can do is go there and then go to this one, and this will give us a morale bump and cancel out the morale hit that we get from the Quiet House. So you kind of want to save this one up, if you like. So quite the thinking process there, but I'm going to go to the Shout Cottage and use up our lockpicks there. So that way we've got the 3 pockets spare for all of the meds. So let's do that. Now, we're not going to get raided, but we could sleep him on the floor, but we may as well have him guard, have him sleep in bed. Actually, no, have him sleep in bed. Hopefully he gets, that contributes to him getting better. Have him guard. Have him scavenge. Preparation. We're taking the lockpicks as mentioned, so that we have the extra pocket when we come home and go. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is pick up all the piles, and we're going to put them in one place. That way we don't have to agonize over what we take from each individual pile. We can do that at the end of the night once everything's consolidated into one place. So I'm going to dump everything into here for now. The right mouse click moves the entire stack. So if we go upstairs, there's going to be a locked door there. I'm going to take this up with me. You can run. This clue here doesn't do anything for us, it's just interest only. There are some clues in the game with this magnifying glass on here, which do open secret stashes and stuff. This isn't one of them. So we can't read it, but it doesn't do anything for us. Alright, dump everything off again. Pick up our lockpick and go for the next one. Next locked door, that is. So we're going to have to dig through 2 piles. This is going to be one of them, this is the other one. Coming up to the end of the dig now. It takes 2 hours to get through each pile. So let's open up this guy. We should find a med in here. Yep, there you go. So the other meds are going to be here. Yeah, there you go. We got 3 different types of med. 1, 2, 3. So that's why we needed 3 pockets in addition to the 8 stacks of wood and 4 stacks of components that we needed. Which is why we didn't bring the crowbar. Alright, let's put this all away and get started on this other pile here. As mentioned, it takes about 2 hours to get through each pile, so this is going to take us to 3 o'clock. Then there's 1 pile to pick up here, 1 here and 1 here. I'm just going to consolidate, pick up those 3 piles, put everything in here, and we should be finished about somewhere between 3:30 and 4. We're getting back to our consolidated pile now, just making our final dump off. It's question of what we want to take now. So remember, 4 stacks of components. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 8 stacks of wood. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, leaving us 3 pockets. So that's our 2 boards up. As mentioned, if you have 1 guard, a crowbar for a weapon, and only 1 window boarded up, you're liable to get somebody injured. So we want to get the 2 in, which is why we're doing this. So got 3 types of meds, which we want for trade. Done. Okay, that's it. And we may even come back here on night 2, because I'm just looking at this 30 sugar here, which is also good for trade, on top of the meds that we've got, and a bunch of other things we might want to take as well. So it's possible we may come back here on night 2. All right, but let's get home. And here we are coming into day 2. So no raid on day 1, so that's not an issue. You just need to see if Marko got better or worse. Expectation is that he would be the same. Slightly sick, yeah. So let's get him to bed. Actually, we're going to have 2 tired people. So I'm going to put Bruno to bed. Takes 5 hours to lose the tired status. So it means that at 11:30 he's going to be getting up. And then we can put Marko to sleep. And then by the end of the day he'll lose his tired status as well. Now, slightly sick, we do have the cheaper meds, so I'm going to put him on one of those, and hopefully that gets him better. Because that way we can avoid the spiral that comes with him getting worse. Because now it's very unlikely that he'll get worse, and a good possibility he'll get better. Alright, now we did bring a bunch of stuff home for a reason. That it was firstly to be able to upgrade this. Let's do this. That's the upgrade done, so now we need 2 boards in. So there's your first one. And the second one, no, he needs to come back and put the second one in. Alright, now here's one here, so I'm going to get Pavle on that one, I'm going to get Marko on that one. They're back when they're both finished. That's it, finished with the boards. So now, when we get raided tonight, we should be safe in terms of not getting anybody wounded and also not having anything stolen from the house, which is the 2 potential outcomes from each raid. And if they steal something, they tend to take the good stuff as well, which can be meds and food. And as mentioned, one previous playthrough where I had this crew, then the raid on night 2, I had 1 window boarded up, I had 1 guard and the crowbar as a weapon, and got somebody injured. So I think 2 windows boarded up should be a guarantee of that not happening. Now Bruno's woken up, so it means that Marko needs to go to bed, but I'll wait till he's finished first, because now we're finished with the house. He needs to be in bed by 3 to lose his tired status. So he's got plenty of time to get down and into bed. Now they're all hungry, but the way the hunger works is that first day there's no status, day 2 is the first day of hungry, day 3 is the second day of hungry, and day 4 is the first day of very hungry, day 5 is the second day of very hungry. So what we're going to do is feed everybody on day 5, which is the second day of very hungry, because that stops them getting to the next stage, which is starving. And then we'll increase the feeding schedule later on in the game once we're able to. So the meals are going to be first one on day 5, and then the next one will be on day 8, because by day 8 they'll be onto their second day of very hungry again. So days 5, 8, 11, and by day 11 we should be in a situation where we've got enough food that everybody can start eating on a more frequent basis. So that's the goal there. Temperature 16 degrees. 15 degrees is the cutoff. Below that, then we start to get an increased risk of risk of sickness. So this is getting close to 15, so I'll have to keep an eye on that. Now, what else? I don't think there's anything left today. We finished the house. Everybody's going to be rested by tonight. We've got our boards in, so we can end the day there. Alright, so we've got 2 new locations. St. Mary's Church, that's one of the few locations where you really need a shovel to get around, and we don't have one. But it's also a little bit bugged in that you get this woman coming out of nowhere every now and then, starting a fight with you. So not my favorite location. Garage is a really, really good one because you've got a trader there called Matey. And if you take a med there and trade the med, you get a morale bump, firstly. But secondly, he can also sell shovels. Sorry, not shovels, but hatchets. And a hatchet's a really good weapon to have. Normally, we would have to upgrade the metal desk and then have the goods to be able to make a hatchet, which can take a while. But if he sells one, we can get one early in the game, and we can start to break down furniture in the house, and we can get a lot of wood that way. So that's a really useful location if we get it. But with the morale bump, seeing as that we are going to get the quiet house later, I'm going to leave this one for now for two reasons. Firstly, we're going to go to the quiet house first, get the morale hit, and then choose either this location or this location, the two locations where we can get a morale bump. And that way we can go there and that will cancel out the morale hit from the quiet house. But also if we go here now and we want the morale bump, we would have to take a med. And we are wanting the meds for tomorrow because we're expecting to see the trader Franco tomorrow. So we don't want to be losing any meds right now. So remember, first night at Shell Cottage, we saw those 30 sugar. I think we go back there and we grab the sugar from there. So let's do that. So Marko, of course, he's looting at 15 backpack. Now these guys are both healthy. One can sleep, one can guard. 2 windows boarded up, and the crowbar is a weapon. We should be good. No preparation needed, and go. This could be a quick one given that everything's consolidated into one place. So all we got to do is decide what we want to take. There's nothing really essential that we want to make tomorrow. So kind of a choice in terms of... Now we did come here for this. We're thinking trade. That's a really good balancing item on top of the meds. And what else? The gun parts can be useful. If we want to start making things like saw blades, we're going to need gun parts. Parts we're going to start needing as soon as we start making a few things later in the game. The scrolling here is very sensitive for some reason, which is why it keeps jumping around like this. Now, 1 full stack of water. I don't know when we're going to come back here, but that could be useful. Yeah, this scrolling is kind of irritating, using the mouse wheel, but it's just jumping all over the place. Now, we're also going to need these for a bunch of things, and seeing as we don't know when we're going to come back here, I'm going to take a stack of those. Now, what else? Full stack of meat, yes. So this is tempting because on the food front, we tend to get a lot of meat early in the game, or rather, there's more meat than carrots. And you need 1 carrot and 1 meat to make 2 meals. I'm thinking about taking that, didn't want to take that. Trying to scroll more slowly. Bullets are good for trade, but I don't think. This is useful once we get rat traps up because you can use this instead of food, but it's not essential right now. So I think components, 3 components, 3 wood, without really having anything in mind other than we are going to need a lot of components and a lot of wood. But we see the trader tomorrow. I think we got enough buying power that we can get all his goods as well. And then we'll see what we can start to make after that. So let's go there and we'll see you at home. I'm going to end the episode there, and I'll be back for days 3, 4, and potentially 5, depending on how time goes in the next episode. And I hope to see you then. So thanks for watching this one. Bye.